Listen to me. Whatever skin tone or color you're rocking, whatever hair type you're living under, whatever body type or size that you have, tall, big, skinny, short, whatever age you are, from your 20s all the way into your 80s or 90s, you are beautiful. Now, let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Reverend Mar Yam. Welcome to my channel. This is Living with Disability Healing from the Awakening of Phoenix Living with Disability Healing LLC. PhoenixHealingMinistries.org, Help with Life Healing 101, Dinner Time to Heal, and Acapella Awakening. As you can see on the thumbnail today, this video is about defying the aging process. Well, I made this video because I get comments all the time like, no way, you're 50, you're almost 50, you don't look it, you don't look like it at all. People are always giving me comments or compliments about how young I look and asking me, what am I doing? There is no secret. Okay, my friends, no secret. Okay, what I'm doing is just trusting the Most High, basically. But of course, there are other things that I do to keep myself youthful, to keep myself feeling beautiful. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is feeling beautiful. The age process, my dear friends, is a natural occurrence of life. If through centuries, decades, and jubilees, and epochs of time, we've tried so many methods and surgical procedures to defy the aging process. There's foundations and makeups and all these surgical procedures that are invasive or minimally invasive, as they put it, to help you lose weight, to help your hair grow in thicker, to lift up your negligee, you know, the whole turkey neck syndrome. Get off the back fat, which I think Herbs of a Woman is absolutely beautiful. And all of these things, but I find that nobody really is talking about the inside, the most important part, because that's where beauty truly is. Today, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that you can use today to help you defy the aging process, to help you stay young and feel and look your best. And without surgery. Because, you know, let's face it, everyone ages, everyone gets older, but not everyone can afford surgery or wants it, as a matter of fact. Listen to me. Whatever skin tone or color you're rocking, whatever hair type you're living under, whatever body type or size that you have, tall, big, skinny, short, whatever age you are, from your 20s all the way into your 80s or 90s, you are beautiful. Now, let's get started. Aging is a natural process that involves gradual changes in all living organisms through time, you know, throughout our life. And these changes typically include physical, psychological, and social changes that often begin in our 30s. We typically don't start worrying about them, or it doesn't heavily affect us until we're in our 40s, menopause, 45, close to 50. But these physical changes involve either the loss or the more prevalent things like weight gain or weight distribution changes. Bigger, wider hips. I got that one. Wider hips and buttocks. Larger breasts. Less elasticity in the skin. The loss of teeth, graying hair, or even hair loss. And a lot of these in women 45 to 55, like I said, can be contributed to due to menopause or even the long-term effects of childbirth. Or life happens, right? So it could be that you're living with disability, sometimes even a disabling disability. Something that would prevent you from caring for yourself properly. There are psychological changes as well. And a lot of these psychological changes are affected because of the physical changes. And these physical and psychological changes affects our social life, which again, in turn, affects our psychological well-being. And that's what I'm going to stress more on today. We're going to cover all the other things, but you'll see me leaning more towards our psyche, our depression, anxiety. It's depressing if you've had so much loss, if you've had so much change. And I want to help us get through that. The wonderful thing about this is that reduced muscle mass, bone density loss, and slower metabolism can be helped through proper diet and exercise and the beginning of a good self-care regimen. Psychologically, the aging process can bring cognitive shifts, like, for instance, forgetfulness and slower information processing, things like brain fog and lower concentration, but also depression and higher anxiety. Socially, we now have different roles and different values compared to our younger years, and we may even withdraw. Again, there's that depression. Staying socially connected is key for psychological health during the aging process, especially in your retirement. Also, regular physical activity and mental stimulation, like reading a good book. Take an art class, do a puzzle, get into puzzles, crossword, or even putting together those jigsaw puzzles. It seems like an old person thing, but really it's not. You buy a puzzle for your kids too, right? It helps with cognitive function. It helps lower depression. It helps. And what's really big is that maintaining that healthy diet. And that can help with social connection. Go out to dinner with your friends or your church. Join a club. Or volunteering would be beneficial. For our mental or physical health, the guidelines recommend at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity of aerobic activity weekly and muscle strengthening exercises twice a week. So things like walking, chair exercises, especially if you're living with disability. Perhaps you lost a limb because of diabetes. These are the type of things that you can't slow up on because it affects us greatly, physically, emotionally, mentally, and socially. Walking, or swimming is very beneficial. Those are the things that I recommend and do myself. As I mentioned earlier, menopause. This is not a video about menopause. This is about aging and being retired and living with disability. But you can't really mention any of those things because typically the age of retirement is again in your 50s or 60s or in your 40s, and you're lucky to retire early like I did. But 45 to, 60s, somewhere in between there's the menopause period. You can't escape the aging process, talking about the aging process, especially for women, without talking about menopause. As I mentioned earlier, menopause. This is not a video about menopause. This is about aging and being retired and living with disabilities. So, as I mentioned, menopause is a natural process of aging. Women typically, like I said, occurring between ages 45 and 55, and is marked by the permanent ending of our menstrual period. Now, don't get me wrong. Some women have stopping and starting periods. Some women even reestablish a new menstrual period after menopause. Most women do not. But this affects everyone completely different. Menopause involves hormonal changes that can affect aspects of our health, various aspects of our health. So, for instance, it can increase the risk of heart disease and stroke and osteoporosis due to lower estrogen levels. Listen, lower estrogen levels, and men, you guys have estrogen too, but it plays a crucial role in mood regulation, emotional regulation, and cognitive function. Estrogen, the decrease of estrogen period, influences neurotransmitters in the brain like serotonin, which affects our mood, but also protects the nerves in the brain. So its effects on the brain is complex and varies in between individuals. So it really is an individual thing. Some people experience these symptoms in a severe way and disabling. And some women, it's not so bad. But either way, it's a huge discomfort and is a long period of time in our life that we have to adjust to. And this adjustment, it's long and it goes along with the aging process. So it's not just adjusting to menopause, it's adjusting to aging. It's not just adjusting to menopause and aging. It's adjusting to your retirement and all the changes that happens while living with any disability that may have occurred that you've gotten during your life here in this body and the time that you have spent in this body. The changes that are made, quite possibly, could be disabling. And that's what this channel is all about. Living with disability, healing. Check out this video right here that I made for people 50 and over who are retired. Some of us, we've gone through life and it has beat us up. Don't make it look all peachy keen and perfect, when it's not. Life beats you up. Sometimes you don't come out on top or wanting to start over. You want to settle down. And people have such a fear about settling down. They think it's giving up. No, it's not. This is starting anew. This is called giving yourself the real time to really love yourself before you move on to the next life. So like I was saying, some more signs of menopause: decreased changes in sleep patterns, Again, mood, vaginal health, hot flashes, weight gain, hair loss. So many symptoms. But again, this is all about healing here in this channel. So to manage these symptoms of aging and menopause, you need a deep spirituality with the Most High, the universe, and ourself. A deep spirituality within ourself, a reconnection to your inner you. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you an exercise that you will love that will help reconnect you with the inner you and help lower the signs and symptoms of depression and make you feel more youthful, get you in touch with the process of the change in your inner being, because this is natural. And it helps you connect with that change in a very profound way. And like I've already mentioned, regular exercise. I recommend walking and swimming, chair exercises, especially if you're living with disability and trying to heal, but also a diet rich in calcium and vitamin D, stress-reducing techniques like breath work and meditation. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Avoid caffeine and alcohol, especially during menopause. Drink tea. Have a regular tea time schedule because it slows us down and helps us to refocus on the positive and redirect those negative thoughts, which in turn helps with youthfulness. The youthfulness inside your heart will always supersede what your physical appearance looks like. It has no choice but to emanate and shine through. The light of youthfulness in your heart will always shine bright when you learn to redirect those thoughts and learn how to direct your energy. You must learn how to not control things so much. Relinquish your control. Give it to the Most High. He's the one that's truly in control anyways. Control is an illusion, not time. People say time's an illusion. Time being an illusion just shows how much control you actually think you have. That's the illusion. You cannot control energy. You have to learn how to direct it. Check out this video right here. It truly talks about emotions and what they really are, which I'm going to tell you. Emotions, the E in the word emotion stands for energy. And of course, the word motion is energy in motion and is put into motion by you. Okay, remember that. You are the captain of your sea. You're the captain of this ship. The sea, you don't have control over how the water goes. The waves coming in and out, you don't have control over that. You have control over that ship and directing it. So that's what I want to enforce here. Energy in motion. Controlled, directed. Not controlled, directed by you. So, I'm also going to teach you how to make a meal. Like I said, you need a blended diet rich in fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and calcium is recommended during this stage. Calcium. I'm going to show you a meal that if you're trying to change, a lot of times when you get to our age, we're typically eating less meat, but you still need that protein. So this is going to help with protein. It's going to help with the calcium. Another thing that happens during menopause, during this age, our body might become intolerant of dairy products, which throws everything off because you can get gallstones, you can get calcium deposits and get kidney stones. Ooh, passing those is like going to labor. So lowering that is a big deal. You don't want to lower it, you want to increase your calcium. It helps with the effects of the decrease of estrogen. It's hard to take pills. Your body doesn't absorb those vitamins like you think in those fruit chews that have the calcium in them and everything. They have tons of sugar, which makes us gain even more weight with slower metabolism already. The B12 increases your appetite. Oh. So this video about this meal right here that I'm going to show you guys how to make, it is so good. It is crave-worthy. It's delicious. It's easy to make. It's healthy and supports hormone balance and a heart-healthy weight. And honey, it won't break your wallet, my friends. Let's do this. As promised, my friends, I have here for you a meal that will help support a heart-healthy weight and help you balance those hormones. It's easy to make, it's healthy, it's delicious, it's decadent. My friends, it won't break your wallet. Let's get started. And as you can see, my friends, I am using here some brown rice. I think it's the healthier choice. And if you're struggling with diabetes, just as a tip, whether you're using brown rice or white rice, if you refrigerate it or cool down that rice, it changes its molecular structure. And it doesn't make it so starchy and full of sugar to give you those horrible spikes or lowering it too much to make you just feel icky or giving you a long hospital stay. So remember that. But look at these. Look how beautiful the brown rice is. I think it just looks so beautiful. Those pieces of green and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the sink here and use some apple cider vinegar if you want, but it's not necessary. I'm not using it here. But I just go ahead and wash and rinse this. I ended up washing and rinsing it about, I don't know, a good 7 or 8 times before I was secure with how the water looked. The thing about brown rice is that the water doesn't necessarily look dirty like with white rice because you're getting all that starch out of there too. With brown rice, you still need to rinse it the same amount of times. So how do you guys like my Proctor Silex rice cooker? I got it off of Amazon. It makes life so much easier. Of course, I know how to make rice on the stove, but if you are not savvy, there's no shame in getting a rice cooker, my friends. This is also a steamer. It just makes life healthier and easier. But the next step we have here is this beautiful green broccoli. I'm going to show you how to lift up that color. All you need to do is rinse it. So I'm just going to go ahead first and cut them into florets. As you see, I have one whole head. We're going to use the whole head of broccoli here. And then I'm going to cut it up. We're going to put it in the sink with some cold water and apple cider vinegar. We're going to go ahead and clean it a little bit and then maybe rinse it out and fill it back up again with some more water and apple cider vinegar and let it sit. And then we'll move on to the next step while it sits and gets all of that gooky mess off of there that we spray on our foods and the dirt too. And as you can see, the next step are carrots. I'll be taking 2 carrots. So you can skip this step if you want to. You don't have to take the skin off, my friends, but it's just something that I do. I don't do it all the time, but I do it because, I don't know, it's just a matter of preference. I feel better inside my mind that it's cleaner. But they say there's a lot of good nutrients in that skin, so it really is up to you. After we clean it, take a look at this beautiful color of these carrots. I'm going to go ahead and take my blade. You want to make sure your blade is sharp enough. And I'm going to cut these carrots at an angle because I like the way it looks, and it makes it easier for me to eat. So yeah, look at that. Look at the shape of that. Of course, it takes practice and they'll look even better once you do it more, but I love the way that it looks. You put it aside in a bowl here. You know, for me, when you get a little older, a retirement age in your 40s, 50s, and sometimes even younger, you know, our teeth aren't the same. They're not as strong, or you might have dentures or some, you know, implants in your mouth. Chewing those hard foods, even steamed, is not as easy. So instead of cutting it in a circular way, I like to cut it in an angle, a little more flat and easier to chew. So we're going to go ahead and put our broccoli in this bowl here to let it drip down a little more. And instead of steaming it, I'm going to show you guys a way how to boil steam your broccoli and carrots. So you want to put some water in a pot. And you don't want a lot of water. You just want maybe a half to 1 cup of water. And you put it in your pot with some salt, just a little sprinkle of salt, a little sprinkle of peppers, maybe some onion and garlic powder, maybe a little bit of, you know, some Italian seasoning and pepperoncini. You're going to put it in there. And you're going to put in your broccoli and put your carrots on top of that. And you're going to turn it on to like a medium high, like between a 5 and 6. Put the top on and let that bad boy do its thing. Don't mess with it. Okay. Maybe occasionally stirring it so that it could be even. The broccoli on the bottom, you don't want it to be softer than the broccoli on the top. So of course, give it a stir every now and then. But my friends, leave it alone. Let it do its thing. Just leave it in the pot for 3 to 5 minutes. That's all you need. Unless you want it softer, it's all a matter of preference. And then you're going to go to your cutting board and take 2 large garlic cloves and cut it thin or mince it just the way that I have here. Now, next up, you're going to get a mixing bowl, small mixing bowl, and get some rice wine vinegar. You need 1 to 2 tablespoons of that, 1 to 2 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari sauce. It depends on if you want it completely vegan or not. And then I like to use a little more sweeter sauce, some hoisin sauce. My friends, I'm going to put in either a half a tablespoon or 1 tablespoon. You're also going to use some sesame seed oil. This is the crudité of your sauces. I'm telling you right now, when you make an Asian inspired sauce, this is what you want. Now, when it comes to the spices in these sauces, you certainly want to go ahead and experiment and see what you like most, but certainly you want to put in a sprinkle of salt, a sprinkle of pepper, some onion and garlic powder. You might want to use some thyme, a sprinkle of thyme or some ginger powder. And then you want to put a little bit of sweetener like some honey or some maple syrup or brown sugar. You're going to go ahead and stir that up and set it aside. My friends, I believe in the power of mushrooms. This is the Japanese maitake mushroom. It has so many health benefits, you guys. Immune support. It helps with your lymphocytes and T helper cells, strengthening your immunity. And it has heart health benefits by lowering your LDL cholesterol and blood pressure by balancing sodium and supporting blood flow. This powerful mushroom can help regulate blood sugar levels. It has antioxidant properties, which protect against oxidative stress, gut health. It has high fiber content and prebiotic effects. It's beneficial to gut bacteria and a healthy digestion. And you guys, it helps with stress management. Their apoptogenic qualities is what they call it. Helps the body cope with physical and mental stress. It's rich, nutrient-rich, dense food with a source of B vitamins and vitamin D, potassium, copper, zinc, and you guys, it helps low your calorie intake. It's low in calories. It is so healthy, my friends. That's just some. It has anti-cancer effects. It's great for the brain. Oh my goodness, the list goes on. As you can see, I'm putting a little salt and pepper in this broccoli and carrots, but that's only if you forgot to put the oil and salt and pepper in your water, which I did. But as you lift up the top, you'll find that the steam just keeps cooking these vegetables and they get softer. Next, I went ahead and warmed up a pan and put in about a tablespoon of sesame seed oil. And as you saw me earlier, I cut up a regular mushroom. This is a white button mushroom. I cut up 2 of them. And you want to go ahead and add them to the pot. I'm going to teach you how to make mushrooms in a more healthy way. You don't need all that oil. You don't need all that butter. Trust me when I say, my friends, this is better for you. You won't have a whole mess of oil in your mouth. And the oils that we have here in the United States, they're filled with preservatives. It's not like getting olive oil or sesame seed oil from another country. So you don't need that much. Trust me when I say it's so easy. So you're going to put in your mushrooms and you're just going to let them sit. Okay? You're not going to mess with the mushrooms. You're going to leave them alone. You stir them just a little bit and you can see that they're going to start to get a shine on them. You don't need a whole lot of butter and oil. You keep it on a medium to low heat, so in between 4 and 5, and you just let them cook, my friends. You might want to flip them over in the pan instead of stirring them, because let me tell you, when you stir mushrooms, they soak in things. So they're going to soak in that oil, and they're already filled with water. It's already been done. They soaked the water in from the earth or from whatever source it was growing on. Sometimes like lion's mane, they grow off the trees. But you don't need all of that because it has its own natural oils. It has its own natural water. You flip it over in the pan. This takes practice, but it's kind of fun. And you can start to see that glistening look on them. Once that starts to glisten, then you want to go ahead and put in that minced garlic. Now, once the garlic becomes aromatic, you go ahead and you drizzle in just a little bit of our sauce mixture. Give those mushrooms a flip for another 30 to 40 more seconds, and it's time to plate. Put on your brown rice, put a little more of your sauce on top of that, and then begin to layer all of our vegetables and mushrooms on the top and make it presentable, make it look pretty just the way that you like. While you are layering on your vegetables and mushrooms, in between, you can drizzle on a little more of that sauce. My friends, I am telling you, this is decadent, delectable, delicious, healthy, heart healthy, helps balance our hormones. It fights infection by protecting our immunity. You can't go wrong with this meal here, my friends. Full of calcium because of the brown rice and that wonderful broccoli. This is easy to make. It's healthy. It's delicious. It's decadent. Here's to your health. So I have here this binder, and I've already started writing. To get in touch, to reconnect with that inner you and be peaceful and accept the child that's still in there. That is what brings youthfulness to the heart, reestablishes it, reawakes it, takes it out of its dormancy, because we tell ourselves, put aside childish things. We're all children of the Most High anyways. Yes, we're adults, but don't get caught up in adultism. It destroys us. It prevents so many things, including imagination, which I believe is the core of healing. Memory and imagination, how you use it, not getting rid of it. but how you think about it, how you're communicating with yourself. And that's your whole self, not just the adult in you. You know, that adult was a child. And that child becomes an adult. It's one. Okay? There's no separation. There really isn't. So in order to get in touch with that youthfulness, I suggest taking pen to paper and writing a letter to your past self, getting another piece of paper out and writing a letter to yourself now. Flip that paper over and get another piece of paper and write a letter to yourself that is to come. Make peace. Tell your former self, your child self, the old you, it's okay. Please forgive us for talking to ourselves wrong, for the negativity that we allowed in. Write it down. Let them know that we turned out okay. We're struggling a little bit, maybe we have disability, but we are healing. And all of the things that you wouldn't let me forget are helping me now. You know, then the letter that you write to yourself, the self now, compliment yourself on how strong you are. Make this a gratitude letter. Be grateful to where you are now. You're enough. You know, God didn't create you to fail. You can do this. Talk to yourself. You are more mature now. So communicate love to yourself in this letter. Dear Dr. Reverend Mariam, wow, you're a doctor and a reverend. I'm so proud of you for how far you've come. All that you've accomplished despite, and so forth. What beat you up? Write how it made you stronger. Don't write about what beat you up. Write about how it made you stronger. What did you take from it? It helps you redirect those energies that have been holding you down, like the foot on the back of your neck, like somebody peeing on your head and telling you it's raining. It's time to take the umbrella off and let that purple rain come down. Walk through it. You can't dodge the rain, but you can direct your steps in it. Right? Remember that video I was telling you guys about? Your future self. Tell your future self. Let your child self and yourself now write the letter to your future self. And don't be afraid to go beyond the life that you have in this body. What, if you believe in karma, what karma have you brought to the table? Your actions, that's what you're taking with you, not all of these material things, right? Take a breath before you start. Let's do that right now. Let's take a breath. Okay? Let's take a breath. Take your right hand, put it over your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Acknowledge that heartbeat. That's the life and energy that the Most High has given you. When you take a breath, just take a breath in right now. Close your eyes and do it. Again. Feel the air expanding your lungs and your rib cage. You can hear it while you're feeling and hearing your heartbeat. That's the life and energy that you have been given. You're not living if you're not breathing. You could be living on a machine, but eventually somebody's going to take you off. They want that insurance money. It's messed up. That is how life goes sometimes for a lot of us. But you have that breath, you have that heart, you have that life and that energy. Acknowledge it before you start this. I want to do this with you. So take 4 counts in through your nostrils and breathe out through your teeth. Okay? But when you take the breath in through your nostrils makes it 4 counts, and hold it for 4 counts, concentrating on what you hear and what you feel. It's going to bring down your energy. Not bring it down, but it's going to it's going to calm your energy. It's going to make you be able to direct it without such a struggle. Refocusing. Okay? So, hand over your heart. Take a moment and feel it. Eyes closed. Take a deep breath in, and when you take a deep breath in, close your eyes. Continue to feel that heart on your hand and in your ears. Now we're going to take that deep breath in for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, and release for 4 counts. And when you release, give it to God. Give it to the Most High. Don't hold on to it anymore. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow. There's a stillness. You can feel even the energy from inside your body around you. They call that your aura. You can literally feel it. Stay in that feeling for as long as you can. Don't forget to subscribe to the Awakening of Phoenix Living with Disability Healing. This channel was created to empower those who feel and become unwanted after trauma, heal through spirituality, and improve the quality of their life while living with disability. I want to thank you all for your support. Our trademark is now registered. It is not just your spirituality that can define your journey. It is your journey that can define your spirituality.